Good afternoon, everyone. If we're going to get started, if you could take a seat and settle in. All right. Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Randy McDaniel. I'm the interim director for the Parks, Recreation, and Community Services Department, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the Center. Where today's discovery is tomorrow's innovation. We'll begin the ceremony by posting of colors by the Girl Scout Troop 133 and 1577.
The flag of our country, color guard, honor your flag. We will now do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now we will say it in Spanish.
Yo prometo de atar a la bandera de los Estados Unidos de América y la república que representa una nación bajo Dios indivisible con libertad y justicia para todos. Please remain standing for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Please be seated. Color guard dismissed.
That was great. All right, as we begin, I would like to take a moment to recognize our City Council and City Management present this morning. We have Council Member Gabby Placencia, Ward 5. Council Member Jim Perry, Ward 6. Council Member Steve Hemingway, Ward 7. And City Manager Al Zelenka. And I'm not... and Councilwoman Cervantes, Ward 2. And we have Representative Cheyenne Clark, representing Assemblyman Sabrina Cervantes, joining us as well. and Supervisor Karen Spiegel. And I'm not sure if I missed anybody. If I did, please raise your hand. And join me in welcoming Mayor Pro Tem Gabby Plasencia.
I was skeptical about the little stage here, but it's pretty sturdy. Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon, Riverside, and welcome to the grand opening of the city's newest community center. The Borns Family Youth Innovation Center, located in my very own home ward, Ward 5, recognizing years of work, dedication, fundraising, and collaboration, it is extraordinary to see the community come together. From our naming rights sponsors, the Borns family, the MacArthur family, feel free to applaud. Enoch, I hope I said that right, Enoch, and Wendy Huang, Smart Riverside, to our scholarship donors, Arlington Business Partnership, IEHP, and various community residents, to the City of Riverside Parks and Recreation and Community Service staff, Riverside Community Service Foundation, and many more. Thank you very much. As a school counselor for Alvord USD, I have witnessed and experienced the positive impact of STEAM programs here on our youth that they have, their future and their families. I remember when I was in high school, I was involved in many programs such as dance and MECHA and associate student body experiences, which provided firsthand opportunities to advocate and become a part of the community, which has influenced my career. Throughout this last month, my daughter has experienced the joys of science and engineering here at the Youth Innovation Center through the games such as Minecraft and Roblox, making kaleidoscopes and lava lamps. Thank you, Parks and Rec staff. Just like my daughter has experienced the Youth Innovation Center, it will provide in our community for our youth. This facility and these programs are designed as a catalyst for innovation and provide opportunities for our community and our residents that will promote and enhance lifelong learning. The city's strategic plan is the foundation for this growth, this programming, and this facility for fostering innovation, equity, and sustainability and resiliency, which is represented beyond a building, but a safe place for our youth. The space has over 9,000 square feet, offering a variety of courses, clubs, and state-of-the-art technology, including coding, STEM clubs, a sound recording booth, makerspace activities, film and photography, and computer technology. As you enjoy the remainder of the event, notice the kids around you as you're witnessing our future flourish right before your eyes. Thank you, Riverside. I'm excited to see what's next. Next, I will introduce Randy. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Plasencia. Please join me in welcoming former ward member from Ward 5, Councilmember Chris MacArthur. We worked hand in hand together in this project and many years, and it's a long time coming, and it's my pleasure to actually welcome him to the stage and talk a little bit. So welcome, Councilmember Chris MacArthur.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Great to be back. Well, thank you very much, Mayor Pro Tem Plasencia, council members, the Borns family. Good afternoon and welcome to everyone for coming to this wonderful event for Arlington and for Riverside. And really, this is a really transformational event for our community, but most importantly for the youth and future leaders of our city. And the day has finally come, as Randy mentioned, more than, well, in my case, 14 years of planning. Originally, it was supposed to be a daycare center, then it was going to be a boys and girls club, but you know what? This is the best use for this community. There's no question about it. And today, after almost 2 years after the formal dedication, we're finally able to open the Borns Family Youth Innovation Center. I think the community should clap to that achievement. And a special thank you to Gordon and Jill Borns and their family for this transformative gift to Arlington and the Riverside community. The Borns family has a legendary tradition of investing back into their community. From the Marlon and Rosemary Borns College of Engineering at UCR to the Gordon and Jill Borns College of Engineering at California Baptist University, the Borns family has been a leader for STEM education in Riverside for decades. The Borns Family Youth Innovation Center creates this living laboratory where children from every neighborhood now have an opportunity to use education to pursue their dreams. And I know, Gordon, that you take immense pride in introducing our young students to careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And I'm confident that we will see you here in person actually leading classes. I know Gordon's hands-on, he'll be here. And what better thing than to have a building named in honor of your family. And today, as we stand as a city of arts and innovation, it's time that we have an innovation center to bookend the Riverside Arts Academy. And what better way to do that than a center dedicated to technology and to connecting all of the great innovators in our city with future generations. I think we can all agree that our city, state, and nation will not continue to thrive and certainly will not survive if we don't prepare and challenge our children to take leadership and contributing roles in our society. We want to support them and give them every opportunity to live successful lives. And one of the ways we can do that is by ensuring that they're prepared for a career that will support them and their community. And this center has the great opportunity to provide all of our children, regardless of their economic condition, an equal footing to learn and develop a firm foundation in the STEM skills they'll need to be successful. And as Councilmember and Mayor Pro Tem Placentia mentioned, at the conclusion of today's program, you'll have the opportunity to tour the Borns Family Youth Innovation Center. And through this center, we will change the lives of everyone who enters the doors behind us. Just think of the minds we will open and the kids that we're going to be able to help, the possibilities we can create. We will create life-changing momentum from inside the Borns Family Youth Innovation Center. And this momentum will not only change the lives of our children, but ensure the long-term success of our community. So, welcome. We are excited that you took the time to join us today. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Chris MacArthur and the MacArthur family. Please join me in welcoming Gordon Borns.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you. Well, thank you very much for this wonderful event today. I am pleased to participate in this grand opening after, of course, a delay of what. And so this is a wonderful time to get together and tour this facility. I have a number of family members here, and my wife Jill, she and I were facing each other on the freeway here. Jill is here, right back here, and also a nephew, Chad Macbeth, is here with his wife Christine, and daughters Amelia and Rosemary, named after my mother, Rosemary Borns. I think also my daughter Marie and son-in-law Tyler will be here shortly too. We have 2 of our 6 grandchildren who will be here. Eliza, who is 5, and Titus, who is 3. Titus is a budding engineer. In fact, we celebrated his 3rd birthday with a vacuum cleaner and drone birthday theme. He is really into those areas, and actually they're related because they both have to do with moving of air. And he does a lot of that too. He talks a lot too. But and Eliza has just entered Riverside Christian Day School as a kindergartner, so I think she's majoring in social science because she is making lots of friends in kindergarten. But we also have Donna Schulte here with the CTE, the Career and Technical Education. Of course, a passion that I have is the STEP program, Science and Technology Education Partnership. And Riverside Unified School District and the CTE program is a tremendous partner as we teach our students about different careers and educations in STEM, which is tremendously important. And let's see, I think also here is the husband of my niece, Lindsay Hill, and her son, Charlie. He's very interested in anything that moves, including robot tanks and drones, and particularly fire trucks, too. I think he's going to be a fireman in the future. And we have a few of the Bourne's employees here today, too. Jim Hyken, back in the back, our Chief Financial Officer. So, Jim, thank you for coming today. So I'm going to speak now to the kids in the audience, whether by age or at least by spirit of heart, about STEM. And I want to emphasize to you what a tremendous resource, a treasure, this Youth Innovation Center is, with its tremendous facilities, its instructors, the tools, the computers that you have at your service. Of course, my family has a lot of experience with STEM, but nothing compares to this at all. One of the things that I think is a particular highlight is that the center is open from 9 in the morning till 9 at night, Monday through Thursdays, and 9 till 6 on Fridays. And so it gives our community a tremendous opportunity to utilize these facilities. In contrast to what we have here at the Youth Innovation Center, my father, Marlon Bournes, who together with my mother, Rosemary Bournes, co-founded Bournes Laboratories in their garage clear back 74 years ago in Pasadena, California. But he grew up as an only child on a sheep farm in Michigan. And to entertain himself, he would work on different projects. I think one of the first projects was to actually take a spool of thread and a pencil and put that pencil through the hole in the spool of thread and cut the pencil off short, and he made a top of it. And of course, the brilliancy of this, and he carved it to be in a top shape, but of course, that has a graphite tip. And does anyone know what graphite's properties are? One of them is that it's very, very slippery. It's a lubricant, and it's used to lubricate locks and anything that needs to move easily. So we can take that top, and we still have it today in our museum at Bournes headquarters, and you can spin it, and with that graphite tip, it goes for a long time. So he would use materials on the farm to make things at mechanical fittings. And in fact, one of the most impressive was a full-size shooting gallery that he, with a BB gun, could shoot these little ducks that would go by, and he'd knock them over with his BB gun. And all of this alone on a farm. He'd send away for catalogs and instructions on how to make various things. Ultimately, he made a gasoline, it was actually a gasoline engine from a gasoline-powered washing machine. Growing up on the farm, they had no electricity back then in the 20s. So he took the gasoline engine out of a washing machine and built it into a scooter. And many years later, he brought that with him when he transferred from the University of Michigan, where he got a degree in physics. He transferred with his motor scooter out to Caltech. He was transferred by the U.S. government during World War II to help with the war effort. So he would drive around Pasadena, and we still have that in our museum, too. And I get really excited to show kids. Of course, the license plate has 1945 on it. And so he drove that around Michigan, Michigan certainly, but then also Pasadena and Los Angeles. So he was really into making things, but he had nothing like this Youth Innovation Center to learn how to do things STEM related. My three sisters, Linda, Anita, and Denise, and I didn't have a STEM center like this, but fortunately, my dad and my mom had different projects with us. So we built a walkie-talkie, for example, a pair of walkie-talkies, and a radio. We even built a little gasoline-powered car that was big enough for an adult to sit in, and we'd drive around that, around our circular driveway. So I think we took after our dad, and we really appreciated his mentoring, and my mom's too, who was a major in archaeology and business teaching. My dad was a major in physics, and And so they taught us a lot at home. And learning STEM education from a parent is tremendously important. But I think my STEM passion got a little bit awry when one day I came up with this invention I was proud of. I used a mousetrap and a battery together with a spark coil from a Model T Ford, and which generated a lot of volts. And so I hooked it up inside of a drawer that had two metal handles, and I enticed each of my three sisters individually that there was candy inside. So they would open this up, and they would get a huge jolt, which they never forgot. In fact, fairly recently, right before COVID, we had a family meeting out at our facility, and I set up my big Van de Graaff generator that stands like this tall, and it generates 10,000 volts. And so I enticed my nieces, my great nieces and nephews, I guess that's what they're called, to come up and try touching it. And at first they were really reluctant, but pretty soon they thought, hey, this is pretty cool. And they could shock each other, and they'd form a ring and hold hands and shock each other. And then they tried to entice my sisters, Linda, Anita, and Denise, to come up and do it. And no way would they do it. I had scarred them for life with my mousetrap experience. But I guess bringing my comments here to today, the Borns Family Youth Innovation Center is really a tremendous jewel in our community. I hope all of you kids, or kids at heart, enjoy walking around and seeing the various exhibits and talking to the instructors here about the resources available in classes. And I hope that you all come back and take advantage of these classes in the future. It's really going to be terrific. In fact, one of our STEM programs is our STEM Summer Learning Labs. And the kids in teams work on projects to use STEM to improve the health and safety of our officers in the police department or fire department. Chief Gonzalez has been a tremendous supporter of this program. Or with Riverside Public Utilities, learning about how to keep our power and water safe. And then a new program, STEM Solutions, working with Cal Baptist, and I think in the future with UC Riverside too, on how to use STEM to make our community safer and a healthier place to live. And they work in teams, and often they continue working on their projects. Some of them have even filed patents on their ideas. But they often don't have a place to work after school closes. But with this Youth Innovation Center being open until 9 at night, they can come and work in teams on these projects. So I think maybe we should have a plaque for how many patents come out of the Borns Family Youth Innovation Center. So I particularly want to thank Jessica Ochoa, the Riverside Park and Recreation Supervisor for the Borns Family Youth Innovation Center. Jessica with her team have put this together, and we certainly thank you. So I look forward to seeing what's inside today, and I hope you do too. Enjoy our STEM experience today at the Borns Family Youth Innovation Center. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Borns and the Borns family for joining us. And your generous gift is going to have a lasting legacy in our community. I also want to I know our former Mayor Ron Loveridge is in the back there, and just acknowledge that he joined us. And then we have, join me in welcoming County of Riverside Supervisor Karen Spiegel.
Thank you. You know, when you sit here and listen to the comments of everybody, I don't want to duplicate it, but things that stood out and words were family, youth, community, and partnerships. That's what this was built on, led by Mr. Borns himself, Gordon. You can't ask for a bigger heart than you have in our community. You have given more, not just the financial, but of yourself. And I think that's what makes me admire you so much, is that you're not just throw it out there, you're 100% there. And those of you who don't know Gordon, he has a passion for giving back, for particularly for our youth. He talked about the STEP program. He talked about this Innovation Center. If you go back and look at some of the things that he has done for all of us, it has all been that passion for youth and to pass on to next generations. And your legacy is humongous. So thank you. Just quickly, and I don't know if you were going to do it, but I'm going to promote it for you. Back there is a little booth, and it's got some information, and I'm always one that walks around, I don't know if you do, and I pick up the information. And there's a partner interest form. I hope those of you that are here pick it up and look at it and help build upon the foundation that is here. And there's all kinds of opportunities that we can be involved, mentoring a group of students, and it goes on, be a guest speaker. There's a whole bunch of things that you have the opportunity. And of course, there is the opportunity of naming opportunities, but that's a financial, so you either have yourself or financial. And community is really what this is based on. You're all here today. This is what makes Riverside so great. It is the community that not only lives together, works together, plays together, and has families together. And if we do not focus on the next generation, I love seeing all these children here. My grandson's here. I drag him to so many things. And he didn't want to come. We were setting up for an event for tonight. I was being a volunteer setting up tables and chairs all morning. And when I said it was the Youth Innovation Center, man, his attitude changes, says, let me go see it. So my 11-year-old grandson's here with me today. It really is about our children, about our youth, which is our future. Remember, they're going to be taking care of us, so we better be nice now. So I just really wanted to just say those couple of words, but more importantly, to recognize what a community that has come together that has brought this opportunity for our kids. And I want to thank all of you for being here and all of you that had a part in this. Thank you. I don't know who you... Well, it's actually just the whole center. So.
Thank you, thank you. So I'd also like to welcome representative from Assemblymember Cervantes' office, who would like to provide us a few words. I don't have it on my notes, so. Oh, certificate here? Ah, here we go.
Hello, everyone. On behalf of Assemblymember Sabrina Cervantes, I'm happy to present their certificate in recognition of the Borns Family Youth and Innovation Center grand opening. And the certificate states, on behalf of the California State Assembly, it is my privilege to present you with this certificate in recognition of your grand sorry about that. Thank you. Of your grand opening. This center will provide our youth with a safe learning environment to innovate, collaborate, and reach their full potential. Congratulations and welcome to the 60th District.
Thank you very much. All right, and then on recognition, we'd like to honor the donors with certificates of recognition, and if the Mayor Pro Tem could join me to on the stage to distribute the certificates. I think these are them right here. I think the stage is fine. So first we have in recognizing Borns Family's contribution to the center. We have the Borns Family certificate, and the Borns family could join us. I guess we can. And then we have M. Hubbard and Shirley M. MacArthur family. Thank you very much. I guess we could go down. Do you want to? So then we have the Enoch and Wendy Huang certificate. Wong, sorry. Thank you very much. And then Smart Riverside. I'm not sure who's accepting the Smart Riverside certificate. Do we have anybody? Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you. And at this time, I'd like to introduce to you some of the staff who worked tirelessly, and without them, we wouldn't have this event, and the center wouldn't look so great. Please stand as I call your name. Superintendent Noemi Lopez. Supervisor Jessica Joa. And Coordinator Victoria Ku Young. And I know there's many others out here, so the rest of the staff that contributed, there's lots of staff. You see the shirts, so thank you very much for everyone. It takes a bigger team than just the 3 leaders, but I just wanted to thank everybody for their hard work and dedication. And with that, and all of the heartfelt comments that we had today, I mean, this really is a special center, and it's going to make a huge difference and impact to the community. And now I would like to welcome all of you that have joined us for a tour around the facility and this the newest Bournes Family Youth Innovation Center. So welcome. Thank you for coming and enjoy yourselves. Oh, there's some refreshments over here, complimentary if you'd like to have.